Good morning. I extend a very warm welcome to the faculty orientation of the doctoral program of Aurora Higher Education and Research Academy, that is AHERA, established in 2022. A research intensive university that fosters academic excellence, innovation, and a supportive learning environment. AHERA has initiated doctoral programs in 5 disciplines: engineering, management, computer applications, liberal arts, and law, which are functioning from 2 campuses, that is, Uppal and Bongir. With an initial strength of 23 PhD candidates who have successfully completed their first semester, AHERA has had a great start. The speakers of the day: Dr. Srilata Chepuri, Registrar, AHERA; Dr. M. Madhavi, Principal, Aurora's PG College, Ramantapur; Professor Srikant Jatla, Director, Academic Planning; and Dr. Rakesh Singh, Coordinator of the doctoral program, will give us a comprehensive overview of the vision, mission, and goals of the university, besides besides the regulations, teaching practices, and assessment methodologies of the program. We hope that the orientation program gets you started on the right foot and prepares you for the exciting journey ahead. We are fortunate to have seasoned and highly qualified faculty as part of the Aurora team. Your expertise, knowledge, and insights will certainly make a long lasting impact on the ideals of Aurora. Welcoming you once again and hoping that your sojourn at the university is professionally fulfilling and enriching. Thank you for choosing to be part of this promising university. We look forward to working with you to achieve our shared goals. To begin the program, I invite Dr. Srilata Chepuri, Director Astra, to present the opening remarks. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, one and all. Thank you, Poonam ma'am. I welcome all the faculty, professors, Director Academic Planning, and other deans of the university to this faculty orientation program. The first batch of our PhD students, 23 students got successfully admitted into across various disciplines of around 50 specialization. The two. The unique feature of Aurora University is the PG and PhD program. The academic calendar has been finely crafted in term system, wherein each term comprises of 10 weeks, which is conventionally semester system in any of the other universities. On the other hand, here it is the term system, wherein each term comprises of 10 weeks. And this doctoral program being offered by the university is structured with 4 layers of the program. The first layer being the core program, research program, external certifications, and teaching and mentorship. Generally, in any of the university, the core program or the coursework, what we call, comprises of paper for the research methodology, 2 papers for the core, doctoral core, 2 papers. Whereas here we have got nearly 13 different components spread over 4 terms, that is the 1 year. We have divided all the papers into paper 1 and paper 2. Doctoral core, A paper, B, electives, followed by a comprehensive examination, research methodology also we are offering as part of educations apart from taking forward. And this faculty orientation program is quite important because we have all the eminent faculty and professors from different specializations on a common platform, and this orientation program would definitely give an insight of the what we adopted Aurora usement, the way in which student is continuously assessed, because Aurora has come up with a new unique concept of not having any conventional examinations to the students. So with all the experienced faculty on board, we hope that our doctoral students would gain all the benefits with their expertise, and I wish we are going to have a successful term 2 coming forward. I request Dr. Madhavi ma'am to take over and explain about the teaching learning methodologies at Aurora University. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Poonam ma'am.
I would like to thank Registrar Ahera, Dr. Srilata Chapuri, for presenting the opening remarks. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Dr. M. Madhavi, Principal, Aurora's PG College, Ramantapur, to give us an overview of the teaching learning process and the reflective assessment methods followed at Ahera. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Srilata ma'am, and thank you, Poonam ma'am, for the brief introduction. And as Srilata ma'am has already told that this is started by Aurora Higher Education and Research Academy, is started by the largest conglomerate of educational institutions in the state of Telangana. And those who have been with us, they already have an idea of all this. For the sake of newly joined faculty, I'm just giving a brief of how the university has started. This belongs to Aurora Group of Institutions, which is one of the biggest conglomerate of educational institutions in the state of Telangana, which is having more than three decades of educational expertise. And it has commenced its operations in 1989 with Aurora's Degree College by Dr. Ramesh Nimmaturi. And it has spread into various disciplines like engineering, management, commerce, architecture, law, liberal arts, and sciences, and education. The group is presently having 32 institutions under its ambit, and we have been granted with a deemed university with 2 campuses located at Uppal and Bongir, and with 4 different schools: engineering, management studies, liberal arts and sciences, and law. And coming to the doctoral program in particular, the doctoral program of Aurora Higher Education and Research Academy, it's finally crafted with a 3-year regular program. And here, the uniqueness of this program is that the entire academic year is divided into 4 terms. Right now, in majority of the universities in India as well as in abroad, the PhD programs are divided into either year-wise system or semester-wise system, and that too with the definition of some of the courses in the first year only. That is, during the coursework only, they will give the semester structure, and the remaining will be just left over unanswered. And unlike those systems, we have finally crafted all the terms of this doctoral program. That is, all the 3 years have been defined well with 4 terms per year, and each term will be having 10 weeks of instruction. And another uniqueness of our program is that it is an instructor-led continuous assessment program. Just like Dr. Srilata, the registrar of the university, explained that there are no end-term examinations. That is the uniqueness that we have brought into the system of Aurora Higher Education and Research Academy. And it consists of all the terms are embedded with instructor-led continuous assessment. And there are 4 layers in the program. One is the core program, and then another is teaching and mentorship, where the existing faculty who are the doctoral students, they will be assigned with some teaching or mentorship activities. And then we have a research enrichment layer, and in addition to that, we have some external certifications which have to be mandatorily pursued by all the scholars of various programs. And then coming to the components in the layers that I have explained now, the core program consists of coursework and research work. Coursework is about all the activities and courses that a scholar is undertaking during the first year of study. And research work consists of all the components that the scholar is going to undertake during the remaining 2 years of study. And then teaching and mentorship layer, this consists of a teaching assignment where the doctoral students will be assigned with a teaching assignment, and then mentoring assignment, this is also given to the doctoral students where they have to undertake some mentorship activities like guiding their juniors and undertaking some counseling sessions and all. And coming to the research enrichment layer, here we have chosen certain activities which are mandatorily to be undertaken by the scholars, which will be enriching their research experience, like participation in conferences, workshops, training programs, undertaking presentations, preparation for publications, then membership in professional associations, and going for research internships, and participating in research exchange programs, and undertaking collaborative research. And coming to the external certifications, this we can claim that this is a unique idea where all the scholars of the university have to undertake a language proficiency, then a technical proficiency, and dynamic public speaking course, which are offered by external agencies. For example, if you take language proficiency, right now all the scholars have completed the Cambridge English B1 level of B1 plus level of certification. This is one of the language proficiency examinations that we have made mandatory. And all these are aimed at improving the presentation and application skills of the scholars. And there are certain other tests in technical proficiency, like the Microsoft certification programs and the LaTeX certification programs. And in dynamic public speaking, the scholars will be undertaking certain certification programs which will make them undertake public speaking activities with ease and comfort. And coming to the courses, the coursework, just like I have explained, it is offered during the first year of the program. And the uniqueness of our PhD program is that generally, like Srilata ma'am has explained, in any doctoral program, any of the universities right now in India, they offer only 2 courses or 3 courses. One of that will be research methodology course, and other 2 will be in the area of or discipline chosen by the scholar. For example, if a management student is there, or if a management scholar is there, he will be undertaking one coursework on general management practices or the latest developments in that, and another paper will be on his particular area. And similarly, engineering candidates, they will be undertaking some basic engineering courses which are related to their discipline along with research methodology. So unlike that, we have completely modified the system, and we have introduced the courses which are very much essential for all the scholars, which makes them competent enough to choose a particular area of research by having a thorough understanding on the basic domain in which they are going to pursue their research. And here we also have ventured and developed courses which are candidate specific. So that is for research methodology course is there, that is common to all the scholars. But if a management student is there, he will be having some candidate specific courses. If there are 2 scholars in management, again they will be having different courses because their specializations will not be the same, and the research topic which they will be undertaking will not be the same. So that is the reason what we have done is, with a lot of research, we have taken the pains of identifying candidate specific courses. And again, these courses are divided into 2 components, that is doctoral core and doctoral electives. So core courses are the common courses which the candidates will be undertaking in their domain, and electives will be the specialized areas as per the research topic of the candidate. And here we have taken every care that these are very, very specific to the research topic undertaken by the candidate. That is the innovation we have done in the coursework of our doctoral program. And the syllabus is framed with advanced content. Unlike the basic concepts of that particular context or discipline, all the contents of the doctoral core courses and doctoral electives are carefully designed with advanced level content, keeping in view the levels prescribed by the National Credit Framework designed by the UGC. And these are custom built to suit the term system. Just like we have seen, each term will be having 10 weeks of instruction, and in that 9 weeks will be for delivering the content, and 1 week will be for examinations. And likewise, we have designed the content also with 3 units, which has to be delivered in 9 weeks with 3 hours per week schedule. And again, coming to the course categories that will be undertaken by the faculty for teaching, we have methodology core consisting of research methodology, which is common to all the disciplines. Then doctoral core courses, which will be falling under the broad area of research undertaken by the scholar. And this is the candidate specific course. And then doctoral elective, which is based on the focused area of research undertaken by the candidate. And this is also candidate specific. Just like we have explained, all these will be taught in the term system designed by the university. And these are offered as 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. For example, if you take research methodology, in the first term, research methodology 1 will be there, and in the second term, research methodology 2 will be there. And similarly, doctoral core, the first paper will be there in the first term, and the second paper will be there in the second term. So likewise, each of the student has to undertake 1 methodology core course, then 2 doctoral core courses, and 2 doctoral electives. Then coming to the teaching learning process of the university, so we have developed a specific concept called reflection, and this is the first time in the entire India that we are introducing this type of teaching learning methodology, and this is called reflection, in which there is no room for the regular traditional examinations like the end term examinations, and where the candidates will be tested at the end of the term, and his abilities will be tested once. If he is a pass, he will be promoted to the next term, and if he is a fail, again he has to wait for the examinations to be conducted, wasting a lot of time in between, wasting a lot of precious days in between, and losing the continuity with the curriculum. And coming to reflection, it dates back to the time of ancient Indian education. And after that, there are many models which were developed by the foreign counterparts and the Western counterparts. And it can be defined as a process of thinking about and evaluating experiences, events, or situations in order to learn from them. And it involves looking back on what has happened, analyzing it, and drawing conclusions that can inform future action. So reflection in simple terms can be defined as a process in which the scholars will be understanding certain things, and immediately they will be reflecting on their learning. And those faculty who already have taught in the earlier semesters of earlier terms of this university, they have a very good idea of what reflection is. And to the newly joined faculty, I would like to explain this, that it is a process in which the teachers engage, and they make the students also get engaged. And it involves, first thing is, I would like to explain about reflective teaching. It is the process in which the teachers engage in self-reflection. For example, if you are teaching a concept in the class, if the students are asking some questions, always there is a room that the teacher will also have an introspection and learn certain things. And they get prepared more based on the questions asked by the students. Generally, what we do, we get more prepared to answer, that to be able to answer to the queries of the students. That's how it helps the teachers also to get improved, and it helps the students to have more participation and to have more interaction with the class. And it involves using a range of instructional strategies that are appropriate for the needs of learners and objectives of the program. And it takes many forms like journaling, peer observation, feedback, planning for improvement, and reflecting on practice. This is what is in the point of view of teachers. And coming to the reflective learning, which is very much important for the learners, it is the process of acquiring and retaining knowledge and skills and develop attitudes and values in a meaningful and long lasting manner. So, generally, in the traditional classroom, the teaching will always be teacher centric. So when we undertake a lecture, majority of the time we'll be delivering the content and the learners will be receiving the content, and there is minimum room for interaction. There is minimum scope for interaction. But when it comes to reflective learning, it is a teaching strategy and it is a learning strategy where the teachers involve and the learners also get involved in the day-to-day activities. So for example, there is a concept called journaling, and journaling is writing something when there is something happening in the class. There will be a student journal which all the students have to maintain. And these journals are the reflections of students' learning. So, for example, if a class is going on today, what they have learned on that particular day, what are their experiences, what are the black spots? That is, if a particular learner is not able to understand a concept, he can write it on the journal, and this journal will help them to understand what are the things they have understood well, and what are the things that were left over to be pondered on. And that helps the faculty also to explain more to the students and make the students actively engage with the teachers and peers. And reflective learning will be very much helpful because it encourages active engagement of learners. And it's not that it is a passive learning, just like a classroom lecture. There are many activities, there are many teaching strategies, there are many learning strategies that are associated with the reflective learning, which will be having an opportunity to collaborate with others, and which will enhance the understanding and knowledge of the learners, and that also encourages critical thinking and problem solving abilities of the learners. That's how we have designed the system of reflective learning. And based on many models, we have seen, just like I have explained, there is a Bouts model, there is an Atkins model, there is a Murphy's model, and there is a Kolb's learning cycle. Based on all the learning experiences, based on all these models, we have developed our own model of reflection, which will be having four phases. That is learning by experience, learning by observation, learning by conceptualization, and learning by practice. And here you can see in learning by experience, this again is mapped with the Bloom's taxonomy level of the assessment. So we have made a comprehensive model in which there is learning, and then there is assessment. There is teaching, learning, and assessment. And here, if you see learning by experience, this helps the students to remember what they have learned, and this leads to attention to feelings. So, for example, if in a particular class I am able to understand well, that I can write in the journal, and a particular concept is not that clear, that also I can write in the journal. And once you look at the journal, we can easily understand what concepts we have understood well and what have to be learned further, what have to be stressed further. And again, from that, it goes to the next stage, learning by observation. And this is mapped with the understanding level of the Bloom's taxonomy. And after learning by experience, after learning by observation, the students will gain new perspectives. So, because in learning by experience, there will be only one side of interaction, and the teacher will be giving something and the students will be experiencing something and they will be noting down something. But when it comes to observation, there is a possibility for interaction, and this phase involves interaction with the teachers as well as interaction with the peers, and this gives a better perspective, and that's how they will gain new perspectives. Because if I am teaching something, you are just listening, this only will come under learning by experience, and after some period of time you will only remember. But if I make you involve to write something about my presentation, then definitely you have to interact and you have to involve, which may give new insights and which may give rise to new perspectives, because each one of you will be having an understanding at a different level. And by this, new perspectives, we'll be learning, and we will be able to apply the perspectives that we have understood. And this phase is called learning by conceptualization. And as the name itself symbolizes that we can apply and analyze the things or analyze the knowledge that we have already learned. And here we are able to conceptualize something. So by experience and observation, what we have learned, that we can develop into a concept. And this phase is called the conceptualization phase. And after conceptualization phase, we will be ready to apply. So whatever we have learned in experience phase, observation phase, and conceptualization phase, after this we'll be able to apply the knowledge, which leads to learning by practice. And here the students will be having the abilities to evaluate and create. And when we are practicing something, unless we are very confident about a particular thing, we will not undertake the practice of that particular thing. This is the ultimate level of learning in the model of reflection, and which leads to commitment to action. When you are practicing, you are acting. And again, the cycle continues. So that's how we have developed the model of reflection, Aurora's model of reflection. And coming to the teaching strategies that we can adopt in various phases of these various phases of this reflective model is, coming to the first phase, experience. The teaching strategy which is suitable to this phase is lectures, tutorials, and laboratory sessions. Just now I have explained to you that there is a passive learning here. The students will not be involved, or the scholars will not be involved. Just we'll be lecturing, and we'll be helping them in the form of some tutorials, and we'll be delivering some laboratory sessions. And when it comes to the next stage, that is the observation stage, here we can adopt a strategy of giving group activities, giving a collaborative activity, and having a flipped classroom where the students will be delivering something. And then we can also have field trips where the students will observe, note down certain things, and they can also undertake review of certain activities. And all these strategies are a part of the observation phase in the reflection model. And then comes the conceptualization, where the students can apply the knowledge and analyze the things. And here it can be done through assignments, case studies, and they can be given a reflective essay where their learning can be reflected, and they can undertake some analytical studies where they can analyze certain things based on the experience and observation. And here also they can give certain reviews on a specific topics which are given by the faculty, or which are based on their readings related to the research studies. And the next phase is the practice phase, where they can undertake projects, and they can have practice sessions. They can also have simulation sessions and exercises. And based on all these, they can have a model development, and any hands-on activity will also be a part of teaching strategy and a practice phase. Then coming to the reflective learning, this is from the point of view of teachers. You can see here, this reflective teaching strategies are strategies which can be adopted by the teachers. And this is the learning strategy. And in experience phase, what the learners have to do is, they have to participate in the class, and they have to write a student journal. And this student journal is a unique concept which we have introduced, where the students have to record whatever they have learned every day in the form of a journal. And a journal, it is not a working notes. So because in a working notes, only the content which is related to the class is noted down. But in a journal, the personal feelings and emotions and the personal learning of the students also can be reflected. So for example, just like in the earlier slides, I have explained you that when a concept is delivered in the class, whether we are able to understand the concept or not. And if we are not able to understand the concept, what can be the reason? On certain days, we will not be keeping good health. That may be one of the reason, but that is not something related to the class, or related to the teacher, or related to the student. It is something else. So those things also can be put in the form of a journal. Your emotions, if you are not able to concentrate on that particular day, you can write that in the journal. But at the same time, so how you are going to overcome that particular obstacle of learning. That also you can mention in the journal. So it is just a combination of professional learning as well as your personal learning, personal emotions which are related to that professional learning. There may be certain emotions and feelings which may be promoting your learning and which may be hindering your learning. All these things you can mention in the form of a journal. And this also can be very helpful. This journal can be very helpful for the scholars as well as the teachers also, because the scholars, once they look into the journal, they can understand where they are lagging behind, and they can also identify the areas in which they can excel. So that is how the journal is very much helpful, and we are taking the journal as a point of evaluation also. So that's how we have mentioned it as a learning strategy here. And then observation, we have group discussions, role plays, and presentations. The students can participate in any of these three techniques to learn actively. And then coming to conceptualization, they can prepare assignments, they can analyze the cases, they can write reflective essays, they can prepare abstracts, they can write some reviews, and they also can give some presentations as a part of conceptualization phase. And coming to the practice, as I have explained earlier, it can be in the form of projects, experiments, simulation exercises, model development, and activity reports. Then coming to the assessment, which is the crucial part of assessing the performance of a scholar. This reflective assessment is a unique concept in which we are not having any end-term examinations, which is mentioned clearly here. But it does not mean that we don't have to assess the performance of the scholar. We don't have to assess the learning of the scholar. It is a continuous process. So that's the reason we have made it instructor-led continuous assessment. We don't have any interim examinations, but at the same time, the learning of the scholar is assessed from time to time in the form of a continuous assessment. And another thing is we have mentioned here instructor-led. So that means the instructor is having the whole and sole responsibility of designing and implementing the assessment as per the courses taught by him. And here, the instructors also can choose relevant assessment tool. Then they can also assign appropriate weightage for all the components. Then maximum marks for each of the course will be 100, and minimum qualifying percentage of marks for each of the course will be 50%. I'll just explain that here. So we have seen the teaching and learning tools earlier. In experience, what the teachers can do, in observation, what the teachers can do, and what the learners can do. And after that, what the assessment tool that can be chosen as appropriate tool for these stages that is mentioned here. You can see when it comes to experience phase, you can assess the student's experience by assessing the class participation, by checking the student journal, and by conducting tests and quizzes. So just see here. Here we are taking learning by experience, and this tests the remembering phase of the student's knowledge. And you can see here, it is mapped with Bloom's taxonomy level. We are testing the remembering level of the students here. And similarly, when it comes to observation, we are having group discussions and presentations, and this is testing the understanding level of the students. And coming to conceptualization, these are the tools through which we are assessing the performance of the students, and this is related to the application and analysis phase of Bloom's taxonomy. And you can use any of these action verbs to test the student's knowledge. That is, whenever you are asking some question, you can use any of these action verbs like apply, so and so, demonstrate, then solve, use, illustrate, construct. If you're asking some questions which are mentioning these things, that is related to conceptualization phase. And when it comes to the practice phase, you can have the project reports, lab records, simulation reports, models, and activity reports. And these are aligned with evaluate and create levels of the Bloom's taxonomy. So you can see here, we have taken the teaching strategies, we have taken the learning strategies, and we have taken the assessment tools. And again, we have mapped it with Bloom's taxonomy, which is very popular in assessments, and we have integrated all these things into a comprehensive framework. And how these things can be given weightage. We are mentioning that there are 4 phases: experience, observation, conceptualization, and practice. And here, all the faculty have to remember one thing, that there are no end-term examinations and there are no mid-term examinations. And we are saying that it is an instructor-led continuous assessment. So, how to do the assessment? The entire unit, the entire syllabus is divided into 3 units that we have explained earlier. And these 3 units of syllabus has to be completed in 10 weeks of time. And if you take this 10 weeks of time, we'll be having 30 hours. And in that, all these phases have to be covered. That is, experience phase has to be covered, observation, conceptualization, and practice for testing of the students. So how we have to do that? We have given a simple plan here. If you take experience phase, we already have mentioned that these are the assessment tools. These are the assessment tools. So how many number of tools you can use for assessment? You can use 2 or 3 assessment tools. And you have to take class participation and student journal mandatorily in all the units. And in addition to that, you can use a test or a quiz, right? So this you can test in all units. Any of the units you can choose. Again, it is the discretion of the faculty whether you want to give a test in all units or not. That is your discretion. Okay, or else simply you can test class participation and student journal, and in observation phase you can go for group discussion and presentation. So whatever are the units applicable, that also we have mentioned here. So why we have given reflective essay, abstract assignment and presentation, case study review in unit 2 and 3, because majority of the time we are designing a syllabus, the first unit will be dealing with the basic concepts or fundamental concepts, and the depth of the subject increases on. And at the same time, the learning of the students, it starts in the first unit, and whenever the syllabus progresses and whenever the content progresses, the level of understanding also progresses. And a reflective essay is basically a part of conceptualization. That means once the students learn something, they observe something, then only they will be able to conceptualize and practice those concepts. So that's the reason in units applicable, we have not mentioned reflective essay or abstract assignment in unit 1, but we have given unit 2 and unit 3. Because after unit 1 is completed, the students will be having an understanding of what reflection is, and the faculty also will be at ease to give various tools of assessment related to reflection. And that is the reason conceptualization we have given in unit 2 and unit 3, and practice in unit 3, or it may be given at early stage and it can be completed when unit 3 is going to complete. So what can be the percentage of weightage that we can assign to? When it comes to experience phase, you can assign a weightage of 10% to 30%. When it comes to observation phase, you can assign 10% to 30%. And when it comes to conceptualization, 20% to 30%. Practice is 20% to 40%. So this means that in experience phase, the minimum percentage is 10% and the maximum is 30. Similarly, all these areas. But on the whole, whatever is the percentage you are assigning, it should be equal to 100% to the total course. That we have to make sure, that the faculty has to make sure. And coming to the responsibilities of faculty, we have to develop the content, deliver the content, and we have to evaluate the performance of scholars. And because this is the first time we have developed the concept of reflection, and we have designed the syllabus in term system, we have prepared all the units of syllabus for all the courses with advanced contents that we have taken care. In learning materials such as list of reference books, journals and websites, case studies and other instructional resources, these are also given in the syllabus. And this syllabus is in line with the reflective methods of the university. So whatever reflective methods we are using, like we have mentioned various reflective tools in experience phase, observation phase, and in conceptualization phase, and in practice phase, we have identified different teaching strategies. And as per that only, we have designed the syllabus. and it is designed incompatible with the assessment mechanism also. I already have explained about various types of assessment tools that the faculty can use, and the syllabus is also designed in line with the reflective assessment methodology that the university is adapting. Then coming to the content delivery, faculty shall deliver the content online through LMS. Then they have to select an appropriate teaching strategy as per the phase, and they have to deliver the contents in 9 weeks. Why we have mentioned in 9 weeks is the 10th week. That means 3 to 4 hours will be used for assessment. So that's the reason whatever is the syllabus we have designed, that is with 27 hours of teaching. And then schedule the assessment simultaneously. It is an instructor-led continuous assessment that is on par with your lecturing, on par with the interactive sessions that you are having. You have to complete the assessment also. And you can share the instructional resources. What are the additional resources you are having, like your teaching material or your presentation material, assignments, whatever you are giving, that you can share with the scholars. And coming to the performance evaluation, the faculty, as we have explained, they are having a complete autonomy in designing the performance evaluation. You can choose an assessment tool based on your content, the content of course. For example, in a law course, you may need more case studies, and in a management course, you may need more case studies. But when it comes to an engineering, you may need more laboratory sessions or more practice sessions. So likewise, there will be difference from one discipline to another discipline and from one subject to another subject. So that is the reason we have not framed any rigid rules that all the faculty have to follow on the same lines. So it is completely your discretion, that is the teacher's discretion, to design an assessment tool and to choose it. And based on the teaching learning strategy, the faculty can choose an assessment tool. For example, a quiz may be given for a lecture session, a record may be considered for a lab session, and a report may be considered for a discussion session. And deciding the scores, this is also entirely the choice of the faculty. So for example, if you feel that in a particular subject, a quiz is having more weightage, you can assign. So that is the reason we have mentioned minimum and maximum percentages. We have not fixed the percentage to any of the cases. In experience, we have made the minimum is 10%, the maximum is 30%. If you feel that in a particular subject, experience phase is having more importance, then you can assign 30% to experience phase. But accordingly, you have to adjust the scores to the remaining tools. Okay, so that is how it is going to be done. Then deciding the scores for the selected tools and scheduling the assessments. As we have said, it is a continuous instructor-led assessment. You have to schedule the assessments also along with the sessions. That is, in the 10 weeks of sessions that have been allotted to you, you have to complete the assessments also. And evaluating the performance. So we are providing a guideline document in which we have given the sample assessment rubrics for each of the tools that you will be using as a part of this reflective assessment that we will be sharing with you. And this is a sample assessment plan. And here you can see class participation, student journal, and quiz. So I have taken, this is one of the sample plan that we have given. So here you can see for the entire experience phase, 3, 3, and 4, that means 10% weightage is given. So marks for class participation, we are giving 30, student journal 30, quiz 40. But when it comes to the final mark, you have to scale it down to 100. So here there are 1000 points or 1000 marks, whatever you say. And final scores, when it is coming to the final score, it should be 100 and the weightage should also be 100. So here you can see for experience phase, I have given only 10% weightage. And for observation, I have given 20% weightage. For conceptualization, for abstract, I have given 10% weightage. And assignment and program assignment, this is something related to the laboratory session. That's the reason we have given assignment or the program assignment, 20% weightage. That means in conceptualization phase, you can see 10% and 20%. That means 30% weightage we have given to conceptualization phase. And for practice phase, we have given a project with 40% weightage. So on the whole, the total weightage is 100% and the marks are 100%. This is how you have to design your assessment plan. And here you may get a doubt. We have mentioned quiz only here. You can put a test also here. And you can increase the percentage. And for a test, if you are increasing the percentage and adding another 10% here, then the total weightage to experience phase becomes 20%. And that 10% you have to reduce in one of the other tools here. So that is how it is going to be 100% and final is 100 marks. So coming to the grading system, we are following the 10-point grading system and the minimum qualifying marks to be eligible for a candidate to be declared as pass is 50%. And the grading is applicable for the performance.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Taking a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for your patient listening. And Dr. Srikanth, he will be giving you the things which are related to the ERP module. Sir, if you permit, I will conclude the session.
Yeah, you may conclude the session, ma'am. Dr. Poonam, you may take it.
Sir?
You may conclude the session, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you everyone for the patient listening. I think I am clear enough. Further things will be explained by Dr. Srikanth and Dr. Rakesh. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very comprehensive overview of the reflective teaching learning process and assessment methods followed at AHERA. I now request Professor Srikanth Jatla, Director, Academic Planning at AHERA, to give an overview of the reflective assessment on the ERP system implemented at AHERA. Over to Srikanth, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Poonam. I take this opportunity to welcome all the faculty members who are participating in this orientation session. I also take the opportunity to thank all the faculty who have conducted the classes for the term 1 of the PhD program. Nearly 20 to 25 faculty members have taken courses following the reflective teaching learning methodology, and we were successful in completing term 1 as per the plan, as per the methodology that we have created. And today's session is for term 2. We thought we will invite all the faculty members for this orientation session because there were few queries related to reflective assessment last time. We got assessment slightly delayed, but then everybody could understand and could complete as per the guidelines provided to them. So we thought if there are any more queries from the existing faculty, we can answer those queries as part of the session, and also to give entire overview for the newly joined faculty who will be taking courses from term 2 onwards. So I'm sharing my screen. I'll explain how to create reflective assessments for every course. Now, as explained by Dr. Madhavi, the methodology that is being used by the university is completely new. The reflection is being used for teaching, for learning, as well as for assessment. Are you able to see my screen? Is my screen visible to all?
Yes, sir. My screen visible to all?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, thank you. So as part of this reflective teaching learning methodology, as the courses are being conducted online, the assessment is going to be continuous. Whether it is online or offline, assessment is going to be continuous. But because the classes are being conducted online for our PhD students, we have made our ERP built and designed in such a way that it supports the reflective assessment methodology. So before you begin, already the term 2 has begun in this week, so probably few classes you might have already taken, but we request all the faculty members to create an assessment plan as per the details that I am going to share with you. Now, like we have explained just now by Dr. Madhavi, the reflection takes place in 4 phases. So the assessment also will be taking place in these 4 phases. So we have experience phase, observation phase, conceptualization phase, and practice phase. So the learning of the student will be assessed not only based upon the class participation and based upon few exams that are generally conducted as part of the traditional system. Here the assessment is going to be conducted in so many different ways, where each tool will be applicable to one of the phases of reflection. So if you consider experience phase, we have class participation, which means the student attends the class and also interacts with the faculty member during the class. So we are considering it as class participation. You can use class participation as an assessment tool to grade or award marks to the student based upon his attendance as well as his etiquette or behavior or any other thing that you observe when a student is participating in the class. So that comes under class participation. Then student journal is another essential component and another essential assessment tool, which is mandatorily followed by every faculty member, because every student must involve in writing a journal after every class, after completion of every class. So say for example a student is attending a particular course today for 1 hour. At the end of the class, we'll be giving 24 hours time for the student to write a journal based upon his understanding of the class, based upon his feelings, based upon his emotions. He'll be expected to write 1 or 2 paragraphs about the class that was conducted on a particular day. So for every class there will be one journal entry prepared by the student. So if you're taking 30 classes, then there will be 30 journal entries. Okay, so student journal, class participation, these two tools are mandatory, and these two will fall under the category of experience, because these two tools can only assess the participation of the student in the class, which happens when the lecture is being conducted by the instructor. And you can also test their understanding or remembering power of the student based upon their attending the class, based upon the knowledge that you are imparting as part of your lecture, through a tool called test or quiz. So this can only be used to assess their remembering power or understanding if you are conducting a test. Okay, so these three tools can be used to assess their experience in the course. And the weightage given for the experience phase is from 10% to 30%. First two tools are mandatory. Test or quiz is optional. So you may decide to conduct a test or a quiz or both. It is up to you. Okay, so test is something where student is expected to write short answer and long answer questions. Okay, and the quiz is completely objective oriented. There will be multiple choice questions, true false questions, fill in the blanks. So quiz will contain objective questions and a test will contain either short answer or long answer questions. So essentially it is a descriptive test. So these three tools can be used as part of experience phase. And under observation phase, which is again having a weightage of 10 to 30%, you may conduct a group discussion or a presentation or both. But using one of the tools is mandatory, because observation of a student can be assessed only by using either group discussion or presentation. So one of the tools must be used to assess their performance through observation. And conceptualization, we have multiple tools. Out of them, abstract or reflective essay are mandatory. You can use either abstract or reflective essay. And along with them, you can also use any other tools such as assignments, reviews, case studies, and presentations. And the weightage for conceptualization phase is 20 to 30%. And finally, there is practice phase, okay, where we expect all the instructors to give course level projects to students. And these projects can be a literature review, a data analysis project, prototype development. It can be a survey or questionnaire study. It can be a case study analysis, a program, a software or application development, and so on. So project can be any task given to the student, which can be completed in a time of 3 weeks. So we expect the instructors to allot projects to students at least in the 8th week of instruction, 7th or 8th week of instruction. So they'll be having 3 weeks of time to complete this activity. And these not at the scale of main projects or mini projects that are conducted by the students during UG or PG. These projects will only require 3 weeks of time to complete. So the scale of the project should be understood by the instructor, and accordingly the project should be allotted to the students. So this helps us in understanding the practice phase of reflection of the student, where they need to apply the entire knowledge that they've acquired through various phases of reflection. So I'm going to take a sample course, any course. We'll be sharing this format with all of you. You have to fill this format and share it with us, and you have to use this format to also create an assessment plan in the ERP. I'll explain how to use the ERP to create a model, but let me create a model first. For example, I am teaching a programming course or a theory course, whatever the course might be. I may decide to give 30% weightage to experience phase, 20% weightage to observation phase, which is 50% here, and then I may use another 20% weightage for conceptualization phase and 30% weightage for practice phase. So I have divided my phases based on the weightages in this manner, where the total weightage is 100%. Okay, so I have allotted 30% weightage to experience phase. Another instructor may choose to allot only 10% weightage, because if you feel that your course requires more effort in terms of understanding the subject and converting that into an applicable knowledge, maybe a project or a model to be developed as part of the course, and you want to give 40% weightage to practice phase, more weightage to conceptualization phase, you can reduce the weightage for experience phase and observation phases, but it cannot be below 10%. The minimum weightage for experience and observation should be at least 10%. Similarly, conceptualization phase can be given up to 30% of weightage, and practice phase can be given up to 40% of weightage. But practice phase, when you're allotting a project, the weightage for a project should be at least 20%. So you have to identify these weightages first, about how much weightage you want to give to each of these phases of reflection, and divide this weightage across the tools that you're planning to use. So if class participation and student journal for experience phase are mandatory tools, you must use these tools to assess the performance of the student in this phase, and you have to use these tools not only as an entire course, but for each individual unit. You may give the marks for the entire course together, or you may decide to give them marks for each unit individually. It is up to you. So if you take class participation, suppose I want to give them marks for every unit based on their participation. Out of 30%, I want to use 10 marks for class participation. So the weightage out of 30%, 10 means the weightage is also 10%. Okay, so these 10 marks to be divided between the units. So out of 10 marks, I may give 3 marks for first unit, 3 marks for second unit, and 4 marks for third unit. Okay, so the marks and the weightages that you are using here should be in such a way that the total marks that you are allotting for class participation should be equal to the marks or weightages that you are allotting for this particular tool. So class participation, 10% is the weightage. So I'm using 10 marks, 3 plus 3 plus 4. In this manner, you can divide the marks. It is also possible to allot 10 marks to each of the units and take an average. But we suggest, because the ERP supports you in such a way that you have to divide the marks for each of the units, and the total marks are taken to check whether a student is passing in the examination, passing in the tool, or not passing in the tool. So if you are dividing your 10 marks into these into each of these units, 3, 3 and 4, then out of 3, the student should get 50% of marks, which means 1.5 to pass. Similarly, for these 3 marks, 1.5, for these 4 marks, 2 marks. He should secure 2 marks to pass in the class participation component. Okay, as per the guidelines, every student must secure 50% of marks in every tool that is being used in the course. Okay, so whether you want to use it as an average or you want to use it for each individual unit, it is left to the instructors. So 10 marks is chosen for class participation for this particular course as an example. Similarly, I want to use 10 more marks for student journal. Okay, and I can again give 3 marks for journaling in first unit, 3 marks for journaling in second unit, and 4 marks for journaling in third unit, totaling 10 marks. Here, the student will be made to upload their journals into the ERP portal. So if you are creating each student journal separately for each of these units, the journal for the first unit, you might have spent or taken 10 classes to complete the first unit, because total number of classes that you will be taking are 30. then 10 classes are required for completing the syllabus for first unit. So after completing the first unit syllabus, the student may be made to upload the journal entries that he has written for those 10 classes in the form of a PDF into the ERP, which can be evaluated by you for 3 marks. Okay, so again here he should get at least 50% of the marks to pass in that particular component, similarly for each of the units. And again 10 marks are left out for quiz, so I can give 10 marks for quiz, okay, with 10% weightage, and similarly I can use 3, 3 and 4 as marks for each of the units. And if you want to conduct only one quiz in third unit, that is also fine with us. You need not conduct a quiz in every unit, that is not mandatory. It is totally left to the instructor. But the class participation and student journal are mandatory, and you need to collect the class, you need to award marks for class participation for all the units, either individually or as a whole. Okay, similarly for student journal, you need to collect student journal individually for each unit or as a whole. Okay, if you are collecting it as a whole, it happens after third unit, so you have to allot all 10 marks for student journal at a stretch. So entire journal will be uploaded in the form of a PDF into the portal, and you will be giving marks. But we suggest you to request the students to upload the journals for every unit, so that the actual reason for putting a journal will be met. Okay, because students should understand, reflect upon their learning and improve. So every journal entry makes them to understand their own knowledge in the course, to understand in what way they are participating in the course, what are the gaps. They can discuss those things with the instructor, and they can make changes to their learning styles, and they can become better. They can learn in a better way when they move to the next class. So we are actually trying to make our ERP ready so that the student journal entry is made mandatory for a student to upload into the ERP portal directly within 24 hours of completion of a class. So every individual entry will be uploaded by the student directly. They will be making an entry into the portal. So right now the ERP is not ready for that, but in a few days time it will be made ready. So once that is done, the entries will be uploaded into the portal then and there after every class. So every student will be uploading their entries, and faculty can assess these entries immediately after the class. So how many marks you are giving to this particular tool is important, so you can decide that accordingly. So for 30% weightage, this is how a faculty can divide 30 marks for various tools. Now once again, test or quiz is not mandatory, and it is optional, and the decision can be taken by the instructor. Only if you are using the 30% weightage will also be used to give some marks for test or quiz. Otherwise there won't be any test or quiz. Entire 30 marks can be distributed between class participation and student journal. Now coming to observation phase, in this case I have given 20% of weightage. Say for example, in my course there is only one student, so I won't be able to conduct a group discussion. Okay, because to conduct a group discussion you need to have at least 3 or 4 students, at least 5 students to make it effective. So if you have not many students in your class, in few cases, because it's PhD coursework, there is only one student. Actually in most of the cases there are 1 or 2 students only for courses. So in such situation you can give them a task such as presentation, where they will be learning from books, learning from research papers, research articles, okay, observing other ideas, and they'll make a presentation and give it to you. And this presentations can be given in first unit, second unit or third unit. It is applicable to all units, but I may choose to use a presentation only in the third unit, and in that situation I have to allot all 20 marks to the third unit, because 20% is the weightage. Total marks are 20, and 20 is the weightage entirely being given to the presentation tool, because I am not using group discussion. If you want to conduct 2 group discussions, one in first unit and one in third unit, that is also fine. Okay, you have to divide 20 marks into 10 plus 10. Okay, or second and third units, that is also fine. All 3 units is also fine, but we request the faculty members to limit the number of assessment tools, okay, as per the guidelines given. Don't, because it is possible to use, please do not use all the tools in all the units, because the candidates are being given deadlines for every tool, and they are unable to focus on acquiring the knowledge. Okay, most of their focus is going into meeting the deadlines. So to make learning really effective, acquiring knowledge really effective, we request all the faculty members to use tools in a conservative manner, because one tool is applicable in all units. Don't use them in all units. Depending upon the course, depending upon its applicability, try to use the tools according to your discretion, according to your understanding, and try to limit the number of tools to the minimum extent as possible. So I can use two presentations here, one in second unit and one in third unit for 20 marks with a weightage of 20%. And we're left with conceptualization and practice phase. So coming to conceptualization phase, the percentage of weightage that I have fixed here is 20%. And out of all these tools, abstract or reflective essay are mandatory, not both. You have to use either abstract or reflective essay. Okay, if I'm using abstract, generally abstract and reflective essay are to be allotted either in second unit or third unit, because they need to have at least 50 to 60% of understanding of the course to come up with an abstract about their understanding, or a reflective essay about their understanding. So you can choose to give an abstract in second unit for 10 marks. Okay, you can also use reflective essay in third unit for another 10 marks. Okay, one of these two is mandatory. You can use both, but don't use both in both the units. Okay, don't use abstract and reflective essay in second unit, same way abstract and reflective essay in third unit, because that again requires a lot of time for the candidate to take part in this activity and make the submission. So try to choose one abstract and one reflective essay if you want to use both in two different units. Okay, so reflective essay, it is better to put in third unit and abstract in second unit, or if you want to use only one of the two, even that is also fine. And if assignments or reviews or case studies are applicable to the course that is being taught, you can give marks. The remaining 10 marks can be distributed to those tools. So if I am giving assignment in every unit, then I can use 3-3-4 formula for assignments. Or if I want to give only one assignment, that too in second unit, I can give 10 marks to the assignment activity in second unit. Similarly, review, case study or presentation, any one of these tools you can also use. They're all applicable, but we request you to use one or two tools only in the conceptualization phase, and put them in either second unit or third unit. Okay, so in my case, for this example, I'm using 3 marks for unit 1, 3 marks for unit 2, 4 marks for unit 3 for the tool called assignment, for a total of 10 marks. And for reflective essay, I'm allotting another 10 marks, and the weightages are also going to be same. Here the marks can be even 100. Okay, I'm putting 10 here, but it can even be 100. The software or our ERP will take care of converting these 100 marks into 10. Okay, they'll be scaled down. So if you're allotting 100 marks, this will also be 100. Another 100 here can be divided into 30 plus 40. So the number of the marks that you're allotting to each of these tools is up to you, but the weightages are very important. Okay, because the total weightage for all the tools cannot be more than 100. So if you are setting the weightage here, whatever marks you are using here, they'll be scaled down or scaled up by the ERP software. So I'm using only these two tools for my example here, conceptualization phase. And finally, coming to the project. Okay, project can be allotted at the beginning of the course as well. Okay, so that they submit to you the project at the end of the course. Okay, but if you are giving a project or allotting a project to the student in the middle, make sure that you allot the project at least in week 7 or week 8. So the scale of the project should be that in such a way that the student should be able to complete it within 3 weeks of time. So in my case, I am allotting the project when I begin the third unit, okay, which happens generally in unit week 7 or week 8. And entire 30 marks are being allotted to project, because project is a single tool. You cannot use multiple tools here, because student will be spending considerably good amount of time to come up with a model or a program or anything that is relevant to the course that you are teaching. So we request all the instructors to create an assessment plan within a week's time, so that the assessments, the students can be taking part in these assessments from the beginning, okay, and all these assessments are scattered, okay, so that they'll have ample time to take part in each of the assessments, and you'll also have ample time to evaluate their performance. If you are not ready with your assessment plan till the middle or till the end of the course, okay, then all these assessments that you are planning to give to the students will be given at a time, and they'll have very little time to take part in these activities and complete them. So instead of cramming all the activities into to the middle or end of the course, we request all the faculty members to make your assessment plan immediately based on the course that you are teaching, and you use this format, okay. Based on this format, kindly prepare your assessment plan, and once your assessment plan is ready, you can log into the ERP. To log into the ERP, you need to go to aurora.edu.in. This is the website, okay. You have to click on login. The credentials for logging into the ERP portal are already shared with all the faculty members. I am using Dr. Rakesh's username and password for this demo. So I'll be logging into the portal using the faculty credentials that are shared with me. And once you log in, for taking the classes, whenever the classes are being scheduled, you can go to the calendar. Okay, on any particular day, if a class is scheduled, a link will be displayed to you. You can click on the link, start taking the class. But while taking the class, we are using Google Meet. The ERP uses Google Meet for conducting online classes. So you have to use the same login that you are using to log into the ERP to also log into Google Meet. Okay, both the logins should be same. So you will be logging into Google Meet. The candidate will also be available in the classroom. So after completing the class, you come back and kindly mark your attendance immediately. Okay, this is a request to all the faculty members to mark the attendance for that class immediately after completing the class online. So coming to assessments, this is the menu button having 9 dots. You need to click on that menu button and click on assessment. Okay, now I am showing this demo to explain how to create the assessment plan that we have just developed for a sample course. Okay, so when you click on the assessments, it shows you all the courses that you are handling. Now Dr. Rakesh has handled advanced finite element methods paper 1. At present he is handling paper 2 also. So paper 1 assessments are already done, so I am not touching it. I am taking paper 2 as an example to show you how to create the assessments. So you need to use this row which displays various information related to the number of students registered for your course. Okay, how many assessments you have given, how many are ongoing, how many are graded, how many are not graded. All these details are shown to you. Okay, and under pattern, you need to click on update and select assessment pattern 2022. Okay, before you start creating the assessments, you need to create the assessment pattern. So please select assessment pattern 2022 and click on submit. So once you click on submit, under pattern, the assessment pattern 2022 will be displayed to you. Then come to grading scheme, click on update and select, there is only one grading scheme available. So select that grading scheme and click on submit. So once you do this, you are ready to create assessments for the course. Okay, so before you create the assessments, these are the 2 actions that every faculty should complete: selecting the pattern and selecting the grading scheme. Now click on the name of the course, which takes you to the assessment screen. Okay, the screen displays the various assessments that you're creating for the course. Right now there are no assessments created, so this is blank. Now to create an assessment, you need to click on add. So if you look at this, we are using various kinds of assessments for this course. Okay, so generally in every course you'll have class participation, student journal, you'll be using test or quiz, group discussion. So for all these assessments, you need to create assessment in the portal for each of these tools individually. Okay, so let me create the assessment for class participation. I'll explain how it is going to be done. But before going to that, In the ERP, all assessments are divided into 3 different categories. The first one is simple assessment, second one is assignment, and the third one is quiz. So whatever assessment tools you are using in the assessment plan, all these tools will be falling into one of these categories. Okay, for example, if you take simple assessment is a tool created in the ERP where the candidate will not be uploading or submitting anything. There won't be any submissions by the candidate. Okay, you have used the tool, some assessment tool, okay, to evaluate the performance of the candidate during the class or outside the class. Now you have your marks awarded to the student and you need to just simply upload these marks. Okay, so that is where you will be using simple assessment. Simple assessment requires the instructor only to upload marks, upload or award marks. So such kind of tools you need to select simple assessment. For example, you take class participation. Class participation, the student will not be uploading any document. Student will not be submitting anything to you. You will be awarding the marks as part of class participation based upon the attendance of the student and based upon your observation of student in the classroom. Okay, so here only marks will be awarded. Similarly, if you take a group discussion, okay, when you conduct a group discussion, there won't be anything to be uploaded by the candidate. He won't be submitting towards any document. So in such case also, you'll be giving them marks based on the group discussion that has taken place either physically or online. Okay, and these marks are to be uploaded. So for such kind of assessment tools, class participation and group discussion, you need to use simple assessment. Okay, because simple assessment does not allow any candidate to upload documents into the portal. If at all you have a document to be submitted, okay, your assessment tool requires a document to be submitted, you need to select the second category of assessment called assignment. So under assignment, you have to put tools such as student journal, okay, then you have to put the tools such as abstract or reflective essay or a presentation or a project, because all of these tools will have a document with the candidate to be uploaded. A presentation also will have a PPT, okay, to be uploaded by the document, uploaded by the candidate, an abstract to be uploaded by the candidate, a reflective essay to be uploaded by the candidate. Assignment is the same, review, case study, presentation. Project will also have a project report to be uploaded by the candidate. So all such tools, you need to select the category called assignment. And finally, if it is a quiz or a test, you need to select the category called quiz. So these are the 3 categories of assessments that you can create in the ERP. Simple assessment where there is no upload. Assignment where you request the candidate to upload some document. Quiz is where the candidate takes part in the examination online, either descriptive or objective. That is when you'll be selecting quiz. If at all you're conducting a quiz not using the tool that we have provided along with the ERP, but using let us say Google Forms. You have a Google form prepared for conducting a quiz for the candidate. So you have marks ready with you. You just need to upload the marks into the ERP portal. In that case also, you have to select simple assessment. Only uploading of marks, simple assessment. Looking at a document and then awarding the marks, assignment. Conducting an examination online, quiz. So these 3 options are to be chosen by the instructor while creating the assessment. So let us get into the creation of assessment plan now. Let us begin with class participation. And class participation is being assessed for each individual unit separately. So I need to create 3 entries for class participation. And class participation, I'll only be awarding marks. So I'll be clicking on simple assessment. Okay, the name of the assessment can be given by the faculty. I can say class participation for unit 1. Give some sample description. Okay, this is helpful if when you are conducting a quiz or a test or an assignment. You can post the entire query under description for that kind of particular assessment. Now this is only class participation. Related to that, whatever instructions I would like to give, I can give. I can say student should be present at least 50% of the time in the classroom, and also interact with the faculty members, switch on the video because it's an online class. Okay, you can give all such instructions to award them full marks, and you can also mention that if they are not securing at least 50%, they'll be failing in this component. And once they fail in this component, they'll be failing in the entire course. So I can select the start date and end date. Okay, now here student has nothing to do here. Start date and end date will be related to when I will be uploading the marks for this particular assessment. So unit 1, say for example, you need 3 weeks for completing unit 1. Okay, starting from the course has started 17th July, and 3 weeks from there will be, let us say 5th of August will be completing unit 1. So I can also select the time, end time, before which I have to complete this process. Okay, and I need to click on submit. So first I need to select the start time, then I need to select the end time. End date and time is, let us say 5th of August by 11:59 p.m. Okay, before 12 a.m. I would like to submit the marks. Okay, the maximum marks for unit 1 class participation is 3. So I'll be giving 3 marks. As the pass mark is 50%, 1.5 would be the pass mark for this. Semester is by default selected as term 2, 22-23. This you need not select. The course name is displayed to you by default. Grading category is very important. You need to select under which category this particular tool falls. So class participation falls under experience phase. So select experience phase. And the weightage given for this tool, for this particular unit alone, is 3. 3% is the weightage. Okay, no need of selecting any subgroup. Click next. Select all those students that apply, okay, for that particular activity. So suppose you have 10 students in this particular, in your course, all the names of all 10 students will be displayed here. You can check this button to select all the students and click submit, so that you can grade all the students of your course under this particular tool. So once you do this, a new row will be created in the assessment dashboard, okay, which displays the name of the assessment, the employee who created, faculty member who created, type of assessment, under which phase it falls, okay, for which semester it is applicable to, start date, end date, all these details will be displayed to you. And yet to grade is the option that you need to click to award marks. Okay, so yet to grade, you cannot use it now because I have given the deadline for this as 5th of August. So after 5th of August, on 6th of August, I will click on yet to grade, and based upon the attendance of all the candidates and based upon their participation in the class, I award them, each one of them, marks out of 3. Okay, if they've attended all the classes and I'm happy with their performance in the classroom, I can award 3 marks to each one of them by clicking on yet to grade. So this one is done only for unit 1. Similarly, you need to create for unit 2. Click on simple assessment, class participation. For unit 2, give the description. Started, unit 2 might begin after 5th of August, so I will be selecting 6th of August as a start date, and end date can be given as 3 units from there, 3 weeks from there. So 26th of August is the end date. Maximum mark given for unit 2 as per my plan is 3 marks. So pass mark will be 1.5. Grading category experience, weightage is 3%. Click next. Select the students. Click submit. So one more row will be created in the assessment dashboard, and again yet to grade can be used by the faculty to award marks to the students as part of class participation unit 2. If you want to make any changes to the deadlines, there is an action button here. You can click on the action button, click on edit. It takes you back to the assessment creation page where you can make changes to any of these entries which you have already made. Okay, so any assessment, even after creation, it is possible for you to make changes to it by clicking on this action button. So similarly, you also need to create for unit 3. Same way, for student journal also we have unit 1, unit 2 and unit 3. So I'll just show you for unit 1 how to create an assessment for student journal. Similarly, you can also do it for unit 2 and unit 3. Now to do that, click on add. Student journal is something where a student needs to upload. Okay, they'll be creating a document either in the form of soft copy or by handwritten document. Please accept even handwritten documents as student journals, because through writing students actually spend a good amount of time critically thinking about the class that they have attended, okay, and they will have more focus and more understanding of their learning when they are using handwritten copies rather than creating a document online. So you can support both the kinds of documents to be uploaded, either handwritten documents or typed documents, but either way they are uploading a document as part of this assessment, so you need to select assignment. So under assignment, student journal is the assessment that I am using, and I am creating it for unit 1, okay, because I have divided 3 and 4 marks out of 10 marks for student journal. So similar to what you have done for class participation, you need to do for student journal, but here you need to select evaluate by, a new field for this assessment called evaluate by. Please select text. Ignore question paper and outcome. Please select text. Evaluate by text. And give a description about the assessment under description. Assignment submission type. You may ask the candidate to upload a file, or you may ask them to even share an external link. For example, the file that is needed to be uploaded is very big, or it's a video, okay, or any kind of upload that you're looking at is present in their Google Drive. They can share the Google Drive link or any other link where the file is available with you. So you can select external link in that case. Otherwise, simply select file upload and select the type of file that you want the candidate to upload. If you want a PDF file to be uploaded, so select PDF. If you want any type of file to be uploaded, you can select all these options available here. Okay, you can select a Word document or a spreadsheet or a text file. Depending upon the assessment, you can select any one of them. Generally, for journaling, we prefer candidates to upload only PDF documents. So select only PDF here. Give them deadlines. Okay, it's a unit 1 journal. The week started on 17th of July. So I can give them the start date as 17th of July. Click on set and select the end date as 5th of August is the end of 3rd unit. So I might give 1 or 2 days more for them to submit their unit 1 journal. Okay, by the midnight. So 23:59 is the time I am setting. Maximum marks for unit 1 journal are 3. So select 3 marks. Pass mark is 1.5. Category is still experience phase. Weightage is 3%. And click next. Select the students. Submit. So the only difference between the class participation tool and student journal tool is while creating the assessment for class participation, you need to select simple assessment. For student journal, you need to select assignment. Okay. And again, similarly, you need to create for unit 2 and unit 3. If at all you want all the students to submit a single document for all 3 units put together, it is enough if you create student journal once and you give total 10 marks as 10 marks and 10% as weightage for student journal. So there will be only one single entry for student journal. So in this case, I need to create 3 entries, but I have created only for unit 1. Similarly, create for unit 2 and unit 3. Now coming to observation phase, we are using presentation. 2 presentations are being used for unit 2 and unit 3 separately. Assuming that I am only having a single presentation for unit 3 and I want student to upload the presented document, okay, to award marks after the presentation is given online, then I can click on add, because uploading of a document is here, presentation to be uploaded. So click on assignment. Presentation is the name of the tool. Okay, evaluate by text. Give a description. Upload the presentation in the form of PDF. So they convert their PPT document into a PDF and upload. Submission type, file upload. I want them to upload a PDF, so select PDF. Start date, you can give any date that is applicable to you as start date. End date, again, whatever is applicable to your course, select the end date. So end of the course, by the end of the course, if you want them to upload this file, so select the date and time. Okay, total marks for this tool awarded are 20. So 20 is the total marks, pass mark is 10. The grading category here is observation phase. So select observation phase, then select the weightage. Weightage is also 20%. Okay, weightage is also 20%. So select 20% as a weightage. Click next, select the students, submit. So this creates a tool for observation phase. Okay, and as we are using presentation here to assess their observation, okay, one entry for presentation is created in the assessment dashboard. Similarly, for conceptualization, reflective essay is an upload. So you have to follow the same process for creating an entry for assessment for reflective essay. Same process for creating entries for assignments. Both of these two fall under assignments. Okay, so you need to click on assignment, create reflective essay, similarly create assignment as well for 3 units individually, and all those things will be visible to you here. Once a student uploads a presentation or a document, when you click on Add to Grade, the document will be visible to you. Here, because the student has not yet uploaded anything, when you click on Add to Grade, you have to click on Evaluate. So if you click on Evaluate, a file that is uploaded by the candidate will be visible to you as a preview. So you can go through the file and you can award the marks. 20 marks is the maximum marks. Out of 20, how many marks you want to give? You can give those marks and also give your remarks and click on submit. Okay, so I'm not doing it now because these are only sample assessments, but whenever an assessment deadline is over, okay, please click on Add to Grade and submit the marks either by looking at the documents if it is an assessment tool requiring uploads from the students, or just simply upload the marks if there are tools like class participation or anything else that is related to that. Similarly, project also requires an upload. Okay, so you have to even project to be created by clicking on assignment. For project also you need to click on assignment. So click on assignment, project, whatever is the project you are giving, you can mention that, select text, upload the project report, some instruction related to the project submission. Assignment submission type is file upload, PDF, start date and end date. Please select the appropriate start dates and end dates. Marks that are allotted to project are 30. Okay, 30 marks. So 30 is the maximum mark, and 50%, which means 15 should be the pass mark. Practice is a phase, okay, which you need to select for project. Weightage is also 30%. Click next, select the students, submit. So in this manner, your entire assessment plan that you created in an Excel file can be created in the ERP. You will be able to view all the entries for every assessment tool unit wise, okay, in the ERP, and you can grade each one of them by clicking on Add to Grade. The only other tool which I have not covered here is test or quiz, okay, because this requires you to create a question bank and then create a question paper and then select the quiz component to conduct a quiz, online quiz for the candidates. I'll explain how that is done. Click on add, because in this particular course I am conducting one quiz. Okay, I may choose either test or a quiz. If it is objective type, I call it as a quiz. I need to conduct a quiz for 10 marks. So what I need to do is I need to click on add, then click on quiz, give it a name, quiz on the entire course, or I can call it final quiz. Whatever name you want, you can give it. Describe what questions it will have, what portion will be covered. You can say this quiz is on the entire syllabus. Okay, you can also mention how much time, when they should complete, all these things. Anyway, you can set them as part of this creation of assessment tool. So you can also give a start date and time as well as end date and time while creating the quiz. Maximum marks are 10. Pass marks are again 50%, so they have to get 5 marks to pass in this category. Grading category is experience phase. Quiz comes under experience phase. Okay, and I have given 10% weightage. 10% weightage for the quiz, and then click on next. But when you click on next, under quiz type, you need to select question paper. Okay, there will be general quiz, admission quiz. Don't consider these two, ignore them. Select only question paper. And when you select the question paper that you would have created, okay, not as part of the assessment, but it is created separately. I'll explain how it is done. That question paper will be visible here once you create it. Okay, and you need to select that and click on next and select the students and submit. So quiz is created, a deadline is also given to the candidates. Once the start date begins, the quiz is enabled to the candidates, they can start taking the quiz. Okay, and once they submit, it is automatically evaluated if it is an objective quiz. If it is a test, faculty need to go through the answers and award marks. Okay, everything is done online. So I'll show you how to create this question bank as well as question paper so that quiz can be created. Now to create a question bank, click on this menu, go to academics, and when you click on academics, the courses for which the courses that are allotted to you will be shown to you. Here Dr. Rakesh is having 2 courses. This is the old course related to term 1. So you need to go to the course that you are handling in this term. Click on this action button, the 3 dots button. Click on question bank. Okay, so when you click on that, there is a drop down menu. Please select question bank in that. And by default, there is a question bank with the name, the code, whatever code is given to the subject. With that code, a question bank is by default created, which will not have any questions. Okay, if you want to create a question bank with your own name, you can do that. You can go to add, click on add. Okay, it gives you several options. Don't choose anything other than question paper. So select only question paper here. You can give your own name, whatever name that you want to give. Let us say question bank for unit 1. So I am calling it as unit 1. This contains questions, objective questions of unit 1. You can even prepare a question bank for the entire course. It's up to you how you want to create the question bank. Type should be set as question paper alone. Don't change this. Okay, click on submit. Course is by default selected. So once you click on submit, a question bank with the name unit 1 is created. So once that is created, click on the action button. For that particular row, click on the action button, click on add questions. Okay, so it takes you to a new interface where you can start either importing the questions or adding each question individually. So when you click on add here, it shows you 3 different options: single choice, short answer, long answer. If you want to create a question bank containing even short answer and long answer questions, you can select either of these 2 options. For short answer, the second one; long answer, the third one. If you want to create an objective question bank, then select single choice. So once you click on that, a question is created. Okay, you need to click on edit button to edit the question that you want to give. So I can give some question, a sample question. What is research methodology? Click on save, or I can go to the options directly. And here I need to enter my options under the label. So option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. I can reduce my options to only 2. If it is a true or false question, I can say true, false, and have only 2 options. 3 options, 4 options is up to you. The number of options is up to you. Maximum 4 options you will be having here. Okay, so label, you need to give the right answers here. A, B, C and D, for example, are the answers. Okay, and if B is the correct answer, and if you are conducting a quiz where each question will be having half a mark, then give 0.5 as a score. And if you are conducting a quiz where each question will be given 1 mark, give 1 as a score. So while creating the question bank itself, you need to select the right answer as well as the score for that particular question. So B is my right option for this particular question, for example. So select this particular option and give a mark and click close it, so that it will be updated here. Okay, so Option B, if you look at it, the correct answer is already selected. Similarly, you have to add multiple questions to this question bank, one after the other, okay, by clicking on add option. Importing option is also available, but it is under some technical issue. We'll be sharing the importing format so that you can prepare all your questions in the Excel file and directly upload that Excel file into this portal. There are so many fields right now for the Excel file that was shared with our ERP, but we want to bring it down to only the applicable fields and then share it with you so that uploading or creating a question bank can be done straightforward without being without having you to log into the ERP. Okay, that we'll share later. But right now, this is how you can add questions to the question bank. So once the question bank is created, you can come back to the screen, or you can click on this menu option and again click on academics. From the question bank, you need to create question paper. So for that, again, select the course, click on the action button, click on question paper. So question bank is in general, you can put all the questions that you have for the course in the question bank. So that question bank is ready for the entire course. And you want to create 3 different question papers because you want to conduct 3 different quizzes for unit 1 separately, unit 2 separately, unit 3 separately. So that is where you will have to create a question paper. Okay, right now there are no question papers created for this course. Click on add, give a name to the question paper. So I can name it as unit 1 quiz. There is only one template available here, so select that and click on submit. Okay, so question paper name is unit 1 quiz. Okay, don't modify these things, leave them as it is. Type is manual without template. Course name is also by default selected. Program need not be selected. You can select the duration. Suppose you want to conduct the quiz for 30 minutes. You can select the duration here. Semester need not be selected. Exam name not required. Okay, examination type is online because the courses are online, so all your examinations are going to be online. So click online. Any instructions that you want to give, you can type your instructions here about what syllabus the question paper is prepared on, how much time the candidate will be given for each question. All those details, if you want to give, you can give. Give some sample code for this. I'm just calling it as unit 1. Question paper code is unit 1. Okay, and there is also an option for auto generate question where the number of questions, if selected, automatically it will select some questions from the question bank and creates a question paper. Otherwise, it is possible for you to create the question paper by selecting each question. So if you want to select the question paper, create the question paper by selecting your own questions, select the question bank and click on the question bank that you have created. Okay, I named it as unit 1. So select unit 1, select the start date and end date and time for the question paper. Okay, number of copies, you can leave it as it is. Maximum marks, let us say, are 10. Click submit. Okay, so here there will be a header, instructions. The question paper will be prepared so that the instructions are added here. There will be a title given to the question paper. You can also add some details about your course. You can give the subject name, okay, and all other details. And then you will be moving to add question. So under question, click add new, select single choice, or you can select pick. Sumilata ma'am, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you help
The
me?
question paper which is created, the status to be in approved status, sir.
Okay,
In
so how should I do that? I need to go back. This is the question paper.
Yes, sir. The questions to be in approved status, sir.
Okay. So you need to open the question paper.
Draft is there, no status?
Yeah. So that has to be changed to approved.
Yes, sir.
So that should be done from the question bank or in the question paper?
In both, sir. In both it should be, status should be in approved.
Okay, so here status should be made into approved. So while creating the questions as well as while creating the question paper, we request the faculty to also select the status. By default it will be set as draft, make it approved. Okay, these being created for question papers that are created which are to be approved by Board of Studies, but right now faculty can select approve directly and click on submit. So once you click on submit, the question paper will be available here under pick. Okay, so you can drag those questions and add them to this section one by one. I only have one question here, but when you have multiple questions in the question bank, you can select pick option and drag all those questions into here and click on next and finally submit.
Even we can add the new questions here, sir. The new option is given.
Yeah,
We can
new
add
option
the
is
new
also there.
questions also directly.
Okay. So add new option also helps us in adding the questions here, but we will share that guideline document, ma'am. We have a detailed guideline
Yes,
document explaining step-by-step procedure about creating a question paper. And once the question paper is ready, you can come back to assessment, go to the subject, click on add, click on quiz. Okay, unit 1 quiz, give the names, give the descriptions, select the dates and times. Provide the marks, maximum marks and pass marks. Select the grading category, weightage is 10%, click next. Now here when you select the question paper will be visible to you. Unit 1 quiz is visible to you. So you have to create the question paper there and select the question paper here. Click next, select the students and submit. Okay, so that way a quiz can also be created as part of the assessment plan and students can take this quiz online. Now similarly, you also create a test. Similar to quiz, you also create a test, but the difference between the two is quiz is automatically evaluated because it's objective, whereas a test to be evaluated by the faculty by looking at the answers and awarding marks. Either way, you need to click on add to grade for each of the assessment tools while awarding marks, either by looking at the answers and giving marks or directly uploading marks. You need to click on add to grade. And so when you come back to the main course, all those tools will be visible to the student. So whatever are visible to you, just need to click on the course to see that whatever tools you have created are visible to you as well as to the candidate. Okay, so academics and assessment, these are the two tabs that are important for creating assessments. Academics for creating the question bank and question paper, assessment for creating the assessment tools. Okay, so for this course, if you want to look at the total plan that you have created based on assessments, you need to click on gradebook. Once you click on gradebook, it displays what are the tools you are using, for how much percentage you have created them, okay, and whether you are reaching the 100% mark or not. Because I have not created all the tools as part of the course plan, it is not visible in that manner. I'll show you the gradebook for the paper 1 course created by Dr. Rakesh. So if you look at this, class participation was given 10% weightage in paper 1 by Dr. Rakesh, so 10 marks. Quiz is given 10% weightage for 10 marks. Student journal is also given 10% weightage for 10 marks. So total experience phase is given 30% weightage, out of which the student has secured 28 marks for the experience phase. Similarly, for the observation phase, he has conducted 2 presentations for with 20% weightage. Okay, so each presentation was given 10% weightage. So 20 marks for observation phase, out of which the candidate secured 18 marks. And for conceptualization phase, also called as comprehension phase, 2 tools were used with 30% weightage, 15% for assignment, 15% for reflective essay. And finally, for practice phase, a project was given with 20% of weightage, okay, and out of 20%, the candidate has secured 16 marks. Okay, so the weightages were allotted as per the guidelines, and the total weightage for the entire course was given for 100%, and out of 100% the candidate has secured 87 marks. Okay, so in each of the tools passing is mandatory, and in total marks also student has to secure more than 50%. So according to the marks that they have secured, a letter grade will be awarded to the candidate. Okay, so we request all the faculty to check this grade book after creating the assessments, to check the grade book to know whether you are getting all the tools created in a manner in which they need to be created, so that you get 100% weightage finally. Okay, so this plan is essential to create all these tools in the ERP portal. Okay, so it's very simple. Once you do that, it's very simple, and it is a one-time task. Before the beginning of the course or 1 week into the course, you have to create this assessment plan, check your deadlines, make your deadlines in such a way that candidates will be able to complete the assessments on time. Okay, and it is in line with the syllabus being covered by you. Okay, and you create them, and it is straightforward. Every candidate will be able to see their deadlines. Accordingly, they'll be submitting their assignments or any other assessments that are created by you, and you need to only grade them. Grading is very simple. Click on Add to Grade and grade them. Okay, so this is what we wanted to share with you as part of the presentation, because reflection is totally new and it is a bit complex because we are doing it the first time. You might have various queries regarding these phases, which tool falls into which phase and so on. And by the way, I would also like to share with you that these tools are not the only tools that can be used by the instructors. You can use any other tool also, which is not listed out here, but you should be able to understand into which phase it falls, whether it falls under experience or observation or conceptualization and practice. Okay, accordingly, you can even create new tools which are applicable to you. For example, we are not mentioning about any programming assignment here. So you can create a program assignment. Okay, we have lab courses this time, so you might be giving them lab exercises. So an assignment can even be a lab exercise, and that can also be given some weightage. Okay, because you would like to assess their performance in the laboratory, either when it is being conducted online, you want to assess their performance based on their submissions in the lab exercises. So you can create a lab assignment or a program assignment as part of conceptualization phase, and divide the marks accordingly, and add that assessment tool also into the ERP portal. So that is all, Poonam ma'am. I am done with my presentation. I will be happy to take any queries related to this. I also have Dr. Madhavi. If there are any queries related to reflective teaching learning methodology or reflective assessment, or in terms of ERP, if you have any queries, we are open for discussion. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for your lucid presentation and demo on how to use the ERP system for reflective assessment. I now request the participants to share their observations and raise queries, if any.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, my query related to joining classes from the students.
Okay.
Students are asking to share the link, sir, to join the class. We need to share the link, or how we are going to join in scheduling in ERP, like that they will also get, sir?
No, if ERP is being used for conducting the classes, sir, then they have to use the same ID that is being used to log in into the ERP.
Okay.
Okay, so same ID for ERP, same ID for Google Meet. If they are using the same ID in both the cases, then joining is automatic. They'll be automatically present in the classroom. In case there is some technical difficulty, and if they are unable to join, you can share the links.
Thank you, sir.
Sharing the link is also fine with us, but please make sure that you mark the attendance at the end of the class.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Hello, sir. This is Sudhakar.
Yeah,
I have two things. One thing is there any user manual for using ERP?
We
If
have,
it is,
sir. We have guidelines document.
Okay, sir. I'm new to this system.
Yeah.
So if you share now, it will be very helpful for me. The another thing is I don't have any ERP user ID and password since I'm new to this, right?
Okay.
So how to get user ID and password?
Sir, you'll be given user ID and password. We'll be creating it.
Okay.
And we'll be sharing that with you along with the guidelines document.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dr. Smith.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, once we enter into ERP,
Yes,
link
sir.
is already created. If we click on, we are joining, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it not known to others?
No, it is known to others. I think Dr. Manjunatha is facing a problem maybe because of
Afternoon, Srikanth, sir.
logins being used by
Good afternoon, sir.
candidates. That might be the problem.
Hello, sir.
But it is automatic. Once you use the same logins that we are giving to log in into the ERP, candidates will be joining into the same classroom as the faculty is in, and you need not have to share the link once again.
Yeah, that's true, sir. That's true.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Srikanth.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Meera ma'am, tell me.
Here, can we link the tools like the content in the reflective essay? Can I ask the student to present?
Yes, ma'am, you can ask the student to present a reflective essay. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, you can ask the student to present a reflective essay. No problem with that. How you want to conduct the assessment is up to you.
So we can link the tools.
Pardon, ma'am, you have some echo from your end.
Yeah, sir.
Tell me, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is not audible. Please unmute. Yes.
So can we use linking of the tools? I am giving some reflective essay to the student and asking her to present the same. But keeping it in two different pages.
Still your query is not clear, ma'am. Can you please post your query in the chat?
Meera ma'am, you have 2 logins. It is getting echoed.
My laptop is troubling me. So that's the reason I have logged in from the phone also.
Ma'am, now it is clear.
That's the reason there is echo.
Now your voice is clear.
Okay. Sir, what I'm saying is, can we link to tools like reflective essay I will give and ask her to present.
Yeah.
And I will assess these two things in two different phases. Reflective essay, yeah.
You want to give reflective essay, but you want to make them present, and you want to use two different phases to award marks. Is that your question, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ma'am, in that case, actually reflective essay requires them to have some comprehensive knowledge about the subject. So like we said, they need to have enough idea about the course, which means you're already have already covered more than 50% of the syllabus, so that you are giving them a problem to understand and conceptualize.
Yes.
Okay, and you want them to present. So make it part of conceptualization phase only. Don't use any assessment or awarding of marks by dividing that into observation and then into any other applicable phase. Of course, presentation is applicable in observation, but keep these two separate, because the level of effort that the student needs to put for reflective essay is more than compared to observation phase. Whatever effort they have put, they are presenting to you in the form of a presentation. So together for presentation and the reflective essay document, you give marks under conceptualization phase. Don't divide that into observation phase or any other phase.
Okay.
Any other queries from any of the members? I once again request all the faculty members to follow the guidelines that will be shared with you for reflective assessment, and see that you don't use all the tools that are mentioned there. The tools that are given there are only tools that can be used, okay, but they are not mandatory to be used in every unit. Okay, please also keep the amount of time and effort that the student needs to put to complete these assessments while creating the assessments.
So, is there any document which describes the tools? What is to be done under that?
Ma'am, again there is echo in your voice.
So,
Madam, you log out from one device, madam, so that you can talk with a single device. Then we can hear you properly.
Okay. Hello, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear now, very clear. Tell me.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes.
Sir, is there any document which describes these tools and their evaluation process?
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you can share with us.
Yes, ma'am. We have a document that gives details about every tool that we are suggesting. and about how to use the tool, what is expected from the student as part of the tool. That document is ready under the name Reflective Teaching Learning Methodology. We'll share that document with you in few days time. We are applying for copyrights. The document will be shared with you in few days time.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, I think in the guidelines document also we have mentioned about this reflective assessment and the one that we have shared for UG.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
Tools that we can use as a part of assessment.
That is true. The guidelines document has it. Yes, we can share that document immediately. So if there are no more queries, Poonam ma'am, I think you can take over.
Thank you, sir, for responding to all the queries. I now request Dr. Rakesh Singh, coordinator of the doctoral program, to share his thoughts and propose the vote of thanks. Over to Rakesh, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the session. So we conclude with my vote of thanks to this session. So good morning, everyone. So I respected faculty members and distinguished guests. So I stand before you today with immense gratitude and heartfulness of appreciation as we have concluded with the faculty orientation session today. So on behalf of our doctoral studies, Aurora Higher Education and Research Academy, I extend my sincere thanks to all the esteemed faculty members and our guest, Dr. Srilata Chepuri, Registrar, Dr. Madhavi, Aurora PG College Ramantapur, and Professor Srikanth Jitla, Director Academic Planning, for their graceful occasion with the presence of valuable insights. This orientation program was meticulously designed to the faculty to provide them with a comprehensive understanding of our institution's values, vision, academic culture. My sincere thanks to all the people involved who handled the event throughout. So last but not least, I would like to thank our management and leaders of our university for giving this opportunity for learning and professional development. So thank you one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you everyone once again for joining the session. Thank you, Madhavi ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Srilata ma'am.
And we'll be ready to give your queries.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kumaraswamy sir. The candidates, the participants may also share any queries they have, any doubts they have in the WhatsApp group. We'll be happy to help anytime. And Ms. Sumalata will be available to take care of any kind of ERP issues. Okay, you can reach her out on 9100000902. A number will be shared with you in the group. You can directly contact her in case of any difficulties that you're facing with the ERP. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you, Rakesh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Poonam
sir.
ma'am.